Okay, so welcome to another Zamunda Wednesday session. The boy Tensho. All right, so honestly, it's gonna be a lot of things that we talked about before. If there's any tickers that y'all wanna look at, that's one thing with the last group. Please don't be scared. You could put it out there. I'm not gonna tell you you're wrong. Just gonna give you a difference of opinion, possibly, or give you concurrence, right, of what you're seeing, and that's really the growth. That's exactly where we're trying to lead people to. Just to point them out over the week, give them a shout out. I want more people like Jabril, honestly. Like in the Sunday session, Jabril was hype on Nike, right? And I don't mean this in a negative way, but y'all know Sal can get really alpha, right, in his personality, and if he's not feeling it, he gonna speak his mind, and nothing wrong with that. But the conviction that Jabril had in his play was so unshaken that even when Sal told him it's not going to work, he still stuck with it. That right there is what we're looking for, what we're trying to cultivate, what we're trying to grow. I want you to be so convicted in what it is that you're doing, that you've done your research, you hit the game plan, that even if I were to tell you, God tells you, nah, it ain't going to work, I got faith in it. You know what I'm saying? Um, just a quick thing, since we didn't get a chance to touch on it on Sunday, right? A lot of y'all should be reading the 10x rule. All right. I'm gonna cover chapter 1 and 2 real quick. Just some quick notes on what I put on it. Right. First, the first chapter is really just Grant Cardone introducing the 10x rule, the concept of it, right? Which is, setting extraordinary high goals. But I want to really touch on that and say, don't, I want to kind of expand on that and say, don't be afraid to set really extraordinarily high goals, right? Like, for example, I think Sal put in the group earlier today, somebody started off with 1,000 in November, is at 20,000 in their report, right? Some of y'all may read that and be like, yo, that's too high. I don't think I could get that. Don't cut yourself short. I think that's the message that I want to get across. Don't cut yourself short. As long as you figure out a methodology, right, a structured plan for achieving that, you can get there, right? Real shit, you can get there. One of the things that popped into my mind as I was reading that is, I don't know how long ago he did it, but Will Smith, right? He did an interview where basically the theme of that interview was brick by brick, right? If you got this big ass wall that you have to build, how do you do it, right? Do you focus on the fact that you have to build this big ass wall, or do you break it down into smaller pieces and say brick by brick? Focus on the one brick at a time, right? So that person probably said, all right, from 1,000, I'm gonna go 2,500. From 2,500, I'm gonna go 5,000. From 5,000, I'm gonna go this, and bomb, 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 until before you know it, there was your 20K, right? Um, a lot of people underestimate the effort and the actions required to achieve success, right? Um, that leads to setting goals. The goals that they set are too low, myself included. I had a conversation with Sal about it, and I told him I think I'm setting my goals way too low. And what you're doing is you're cheating yourself, right? Because you're trying to figure out a way, essentially, to not set up for disappointment, right? And then two, you're trying to figure out a way to give minimal effort to try to get the maximized results when you really need to give maximum effort, right? So the 10x rule is really about scaling your goals tenfold. So whichever one of you, and that writes down their goals. That could be all of you currently listening right now. That could be some of you. Whoever does it. First off, it is statistically proven that successful people, most successful people, in order, they write down their goals, right? So if you want to be one of the successful people, you should definitely write down your goals. But whichever one of you write down your goals every single day, increase that by tenfold. So whatever monetary goal you have right now, no matter how outstanding it may seem, I'm going to even use this word, how ridiculous it may seem. multiply it times tenfold, read it every single day, and then put together a game plan with a timeline of how you're going to achieve it and read that every single day, right? And the beautiful thing about the 10x rule is that even if you do fall short, you're going to be far ahead of where you would have been had you had your lower targets to begin with. All right, so those are the notes that I wrote down from chapter 1. Moving into chapter 2, which is why is the 10x rule so vital? Basically, it equips individuals to handle unexpected challenges. It increases your resilience and ensures that you remain committed to your goals, right? Conventional goal setting and effort levels are really insufficient, right? Especially in today's competitive and fast-paced world. Most people who set small goals like that really don't get ahead, right? If anything, it kind of sets them up for failure because when they don't hit those goals, kind of secretly in the back of their head, they're like, well, see, I told you so. Lack of self-confidence. Okay. By applying the 10x rule, what you're going to do is you're going to set yourself apart from the competition. Case in point, Grant Cardone himself, pay attention to his bio, right? He set himself apart from his competition, right? Even from a trader standpoint, any trader that you point to, whether they read the 10x rule or not, like any one of your gurus on Twitter, the Kias, hell, even Sal's in that category. The Chris from Wells Squad, those people who have reached a certain bracket or plateau, um, those people have essentially set ridiculously high goals. They may not have read the 10x rule. Well, I know Sal did, but they may not have read the 10x rule, but they kind of still follow that same principle and follow that same 10x mindset in overcoming complacency to achieve those significant accomplishments. And that's what chapter 2 really talks about, right? If you set those ridiculously high goals, it unconsciously kind of forces you to become more creative, more innovative. You unconsciously elevate yourself to those levels because you take the goal that you're setting seriously enough, plus a little help from the universe or God if you're religious, that puts you in a position to grow into that person that can achieve those goals, those tenfold goals. All right. Anyway, that's some of the notes that I had on chapter 2. If anybody has anything to put in the chat, you're welcome to say it. Or if you want to take yourself off of mute, I'll shut up for like 2 minutes and then we'll get started and on the other stuff. All right. So I take that as nobody has anything to say, so I'm gonna keep it moving. I sincerely hope I'm not here to check up on y'all like, homework or whatever, but I really hope that you guys read these books because we're not just putting it out there just to make you read. Like these are things that have helped us along our journey. So I sincerely hope that you guys are reading this stuff. And no, no. Nice try though. You left us speechless. Uh, but no, for real though. Again, I'm not here to check y'all grown ass adults. I'm not here to, babysit you and tell you what you should or should not do. But all I will leave you with is this. If you are not reading it and you're not doing anything different than what you've done before, you cannot and should not expect different results. Let me say that one more time. If you are not doing anything different than what you've done before, so from the point that you signed up with Zamunda and you are not doing anything different than what you've done before, then you cannot and should not expect any different results at all. And even if you're up on the port right now, the easiest thing in the world in trading is to make money. The thing is, a lot of traders, because they don't have the discipline and the game plan and the elevated growth, they usually give the money right back. I speak from experience. All right, Cass, I see you. All right. So, all right, that's it. All right, first thing I'm gonna go ahead and start with is Tesla. So we're gonna look at the monthly real quick because right now it's the only green thing, green time frame. Hold on, TK, we'll read it, but currently reading the Zen. Okay, so you catching up. That's cool. Zen Trader's a good one too. Actually, my favorite one, but I'm not gonna lie. Like when I'm listening, I usually do like Audible or Spotify. By the way, Spotify Premium has the audiobooks. So just giving you all the heads up on that. So when I'm usually driving into work, that's usually when I'm listening to it. And I kind of listen to it like 2 or 3 times just to make sure it like really sticks in and kind of take mental notes and I write them down later. But yeah, 10x is definitely certain things are pointing out. And then also I've watched some of Grant Cardone's YouTube videos as well too. Like, yeah, he's right. You know, like I watched one video and I was like, I immediately text out right up, I'm like, you know what? I'm definitely selling myself too short. I am with my goals. I am. Since then, I've recently changed them, wrote them down, read them every single morning. But anyway, I'm not going to keep harping on that. So back to Tesla. All right. I know something came out overnight, but the thing about Tesla and the reason why I haven't taken my off of it is because even though we are making lower highs, we're also since the swing pivot, we are making higher lows. I think Tesla is good for a nice swing setup pretty soon. I won't say immediately tomorrow. If there is an opportunity for tomorrow, definitely looking for it. And what I'm looking at, and I know Sal has already alerted it, I'm looking at the 200 call from March 15th, right? I know we're currently at what 190 or 188 or something like that. I feel like that's a good swing setup. Plus, there are some opportunities target wise to go higher, right? Um, so with this being said, essentially what happened, if you're looking at the unicorn here on, no, that's not the weekly, that should be unicorn monthly. Unicorn. So that's an ICT concept. And one of the things that he's mentioned is that when a low is broken, sometimes price will come back to retest that same low. If it fails, it bounces right back down. If it, if we push through, then what can happen is we push through, come back, retest, and then continue up. Um, I think Tesla has found itself, a low, some support. It's broken through this low, and then it also it broke through the low, drawn liquidity, sell side liquidity, and that's where all your sell stops are. So probably a lot of taking profit, and therefore, obviously, you see the bulls are pushing up, just not entirely pushing up. They're not coming in complete force just yet. But again, we do have a little bit of time in February. When you zoom in on the weekly, you see again, you're seeing exhaustion pretty much below this range right here, right? So below that's 183. And that's the reason why I was like, all right, Tesla might like not yet, but might be ready for a potential reversal. We do have a 122 rev strat, right? Just not currently in force, but there's your inside candle, there's your two down, and then there's your two up. That's your 122 rev strat on the weekly, right? So even if it doesn't hit tomorrow, that's fine. I want this still on your radar because of a couple of reasons. One, we're currently above the 50% of the previous week. Even though we're currently bearish, we are currently above the 50% of the previous week, right? Two, we never took out the low. We basically bounced out of a weekly order block, bullish order block with a bullish rejection block right below after sweeping the lows. So those things in combination kind of make me think, okay, we might be ready to start turning. We'll see what Thursday does, right? But you do want to keep in mind what it takes to flip the week back green. Literally $4. We know that Tesla can do that tomorrow, right? Okay, the only thing that I'm really worried about is just the fair value gap above. So what I would do for that is draw my 50% so you can kind of see where we can find some resistance around there, right? But tomorrow, especially if we close the day above 192.11, we've now flipped the week green, the month will be green, the week will be green, and then also so will the day, right? When you zoom in on the day, what do we get? We got a 2-2 reversal on the day, right? So the trigger on the daily tomorrow, oh, my bad. The trigger on, damn, why is it not clicking? The trigger on the daily tomorrow will be 188.89. So if we go for the 200 for March 15th, it's a little expensive, I'm not going to lie, but I think it's a great swing because you have liquidity up here at 196, and then you have a beautiful gap fill that you'll already be in. Let me zoom in here. Voila. Which ends, oops, my bad. Come on. A beautiful gap fill that ends at 206.77. The fact that we're choosing March 15th is because we have two 50% retracements along the way. One for the gap fill, the other one for the fair value gap, right? So the gap fill looks to be about 199. So again, you're probably going to find some resistance, but the idea is that we, maybe bounce, but then keep pushing, and we've given ourselves enough time for us to get above that, right? If we can clear that, I know there's strat targets along the way, but your next buy side liquidity is up here at 217.80. That's ultimately what we would be targeting. 217 or higher, hence the reason why we're choosing March 15th. Now, if you want to get something a little cheaper, like the 210s or the 215s, you're more than welcome to. But there's a lot of flow, I believe, between 200 and 210 for week ending 3-1, if I'm not mistaken. All right. So what we're looking for is for that trigger, right? We're looking to go 2-up continuation because we did a 2-2 reversal, right? Let me clear all this up so you can see what I'm talking about. So we go 2-2 reversal, right? And we're looking, first off, if we're looking to clear out first target, 194.73. Second target, 196.36. All right. Then we'd be in a gap, right? Again, you want to draw your 50%, kind of see where price may struggle. If not, if there's like if whatever, I forget what was posted, but if whatever that is big enough news, it might just blow through that and blow through the fair value gap as well too, right? What we did is we tapped into that fair value gap and then came right back out. So maybe the second time's the charm, we push up and maybe close that fair value gap out. All right. Now, with that being said, I think XLY sector, yeah. See, so that is helpful. XLY sector is also in the middle of closing, well, going through a gap fill, right? Still going through that gap fill that happened on Tuesday, that pullback that happened on Tuesday. So if we can continue pushing up, I know Tesla and Amazon are a big part of that. So we can continue pushing up through that. So Tesla is going to be the first one again. Tesla 200, 315. You could probably do the 210s as well too. I don't know the volume of, I don't really know the volume, but you can definitely check it out. 215s. If you're feeling froggy, you can go for the 220s. But I'll probably, honest, if it were me, I'd probably either target 210, 205. I'm not sorry, 215s. Any questions about that? All right. So I know Lily was talked about, so let's take a look at that. Um, so Lily is at all-time highs, right? As you can see. So psych levels, I think I think somebody had mentioned 800s, but honestly, psych levels with way Lily, actually, 800s actually would be in play. I'm not gonna lie. 800s would definitely be in play. I don't know where it is. Anybody know where it is pre-market or after hours? I should say, not pre-market. Nobody. Yeah, y'all quiet today, boy. Um, Lily. Okay, so it's at 755. But no, I could definitely still see the 800s. Not for the end of the week. You probably want to go 2 weeks out, a week to 2 weeks out, because I know it moves almost $20 a day. But yeah, Lily 800 is probably in play. Actually, let me open up my Thinkorswim and see where based on volume. Oh yeah, next week. Lily 800 next week. The volume's at almost 4,000. Um, shit. Open interest is at 602. So yeah, market thinks something's up. Ooh, lovely. So yeah, 800s, 223. Yeah, I'll take it. I'll take it. Let's take a look. Let's go ahead and move on to. I mean, there's really nothing more to say. Full time frame continuity for Lily is bullish. Uh, Chart is not showing me anything that makes a suggestion of a pullback. I mean, I know we had, a little bit of a wick at the top today, but that's not enough for me to say, yeah, we're about to pull back. Uh, yeah, not at all. That is a stacked bullish order block and fair value gap, structure breaking fair value gap on top of that. Yeah, I don't see it. So for right now, like we've been talking about, we're just gonna chart what we're just gonna take what the chart gives. Um, yeah, I'm not seeing anything remotely close to a pullback just yet. We did talk about SPY in the live chat. J Money gave his 2 cents, right? 500, 505, 510s, right? So put that in perspective. VIX is looking like it's still inside day, but I think we may get the 212 reversal tomorrow. I think it looks like it to me that we get the 212 reversal tomorrow. The weekly is heavily exhausted already. Yeah, I think we're working on that classic Tuesday low of week profile, and if it holds true, Thursday should be bullish. If it holds true, I think the dollar, well, not quite yet. Dollar went outside, but well, we'll see what happens because it did give a shooter today. Yeah, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. All right. Um, Bitcoin, let's move and check that out. So as you can see, Bitcoin's up at 52,000 right now. So Riot Mara coin, MSTR, which is the most expensive one. Take your pick. Take your pick. As long as Bitcoin continues to push, yeah, take your pick. Let me see, where could we find some resistance? Potentially, I think there's a fair value gap there, so we might find some resistance there. Yep. So boom, boom. Oh no, that's not a fair value. What the hell am I saying? My bad. So let's see. So we're up there already. So when's the next spot? 53. So yeah, that's the next take profit target. So just be aware of that area. 53,000, high 53,000s. If you see it start to exhaust around there, um, yeah. Oh, actually, and then right above that, yeah. So 53,000, 53, 54,000. I want you to be aware of. All right. So keep track of that. But with that being said, coin is what yours truly is currently in, right? So, oh shit, that's way too big. My bad, y'all. All right, that's good. There we go. Okay. So coin with the gap up, right? Um, so what we're looking for tomorrow is obviously for the two up continuation. Small little fair value gap, right? Below. But the reason why I said 161.28, lot of resistance there, a lot of wicks, right? A lot of highs that wicked and then headed right back down, right? Touched here, came back, touched again, came back down. Bulls tried it one more time. Timber, right? So might break through it to make that higher high, and therefore you're broadening formation, but do not be surprised if you get a little exhaustion around that area. Not to mention with the fair value gap above as well, too. Basically tapping into the fair value gap and then dying off. There is earnings, I think, at the end of this week. I am not swinging um, through. Well, actually, here's my real game plan. I'm going to close out before earnings. I think earnings is tomorrow after market close, if I'm not mistaken. I believe so. Hold up. I didn't even realize my Heat were playing tonight. Yeah, after market close, right? So I'm probably gonna close out of the 162.5s after that. I do have faith for it to go all the way up to 180. So I am looking at the 180s probably for March. I haven't decided if it's like the March 1st week or if it's, I'm more than likely going to probably go towards March 15th week, OPEX week. So uh, for coin, um, so for coin, if you have faith in coin, right? You don't necessarily have to target though. I'm actually looking at either the 180, the 190, or the 200. Um, I may just settle on 200, right? Because I really do have faith on coin like that and in Bitcoin like that. So um, it's up to you if you want to join in on that. I'll alert whichever one I jump into. But when you look at coin, unless earnings are going to be drastically low or drastically horrible, there it is right there, right? You got the found support down here, and you got the beginnings of starting to push up to TTO to the upside at 187.39. And then above that, this target up here is the 206. So hence the reason why I'm looking at the 200, right? The 200, sorry, the 180, the 190, and then also the 200 because of these targets, 187, 193, and 206. And this would be, buy side liquidity up at this top here. So probably it's going to exhaust and you'll probably get a lot of profit taken probably for the next, for the move down before moving back up. All right. So again, I'll alert which one I'm looking at as a potential swing. But if you got into coin with me, the 162.5s, the ones that I alerted in my channel, I think we're gonna open good tomorrow. I think we will. We'll see what happens, but I think we will. Also, the fact that the month, I forgot to talk about that. The month, we still have February 23rd and then a couple of days before, I think all the way up to Thursday, and I think that Friday is March 1st. But we're above the 50%, right? We take the month up at 175, 57. So, that's only $15 away. With I mean, unless earnings turn out to be horrible, yeah, I think we go outside month. Um, and yeah, if we do, I really do think we can continue pushing. Um, this could be, it could be, I haven't really paid attention to previous earnings before, but I think if earnings are good, coin can really take off back up into the 200 range. So that's my 2 cents on that.
And be very patient in your swings.
What'd
You
you
know what I'm
say?
saying? Don't I was saying be very patient in the swings. Do expect some, 20, 30% type of drawdowns. Now some people may be like, oh no, hell with that. Man, trust me. Long as them trades don't invalidate, they will absolutely pay. You get another two up on whatever time frame that you took the trade from, and then you'll be good.
Yep. Speaking of, being patient, yeah, snow is actually a perfect example of that. For me, because my 250s, if y'all are paying attention in the chat, my 250s at one point was negative 40, right? So, it's really, it was really just about patience. I'm not telling y'all to always let your plays go down to, negative 40%, but considering that I gave myself time on it, and ultimately had conviction in it, yeah, that's the reason why I stayed with it, right? So, and ultimately, look at how we're ending up. The week is, two up. We took the week two up, um, bouncing off, making a little fair value gap there, exhausting from the lows and continuing to push up. And then on the daily, it took a minute, right? Basically, what happened is, we had a pullback back to this previous high. And there's a reason why you should always pay attention to those highs that get broken, especially for you ICTers, especially if it's a structure breaking fair value gap. When price dips back into it, what was once resistance can now become support. And that's exactly what you see here, right? Price essentially, did this boom, 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 bam, right? So when it comes off, like whenever a high gets, and it's the same thing in reverse for lows, right? But whenever a high gets broken, price is probably going to come back to retest that, right? To either do this and continue down or to do what Snow just did, which was to continue up. Now, Snow also has earnings at the end of February. Um, I am probably going to swing through that as well too. Um, Not gambling, right? I'm going to risk appropriately. But when you look at right now, we're currently, just so if anybody's lost on it, we're currently in the 250s for next week, right? But I'm looking at these targets above 274, and then also right before we touch this weekly fair value gap, which is 282. So I'm really looking at snow 280s for March 15th, right? Snow 280s, which is, again, a little expensive. Um, if you're feeling, if you feel confident in snow, you could probably target the 300s. I think right now, those are like 200 a contract. It's still a good swing though, because even if it hits like 280, 285, from where it is now, you should still be very profitable on that trade. You don't need it to exactly hit your target, but it should still be very profitable on the trade. Um, and then yeah, looking at the month, um, again, if earnings are good, we're probably going to take out this first target here at 244.05. So it's snow's in a good position, and again, unless the market just goes straight bearish, yeah, the expectation for snow would be to push up TTO above 237.72. That's what we're looking for it to do tomorrow. I don't know where it currently is in pre after hours, but that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for that TTO. Um, and I'm hoping that once that happens, this is probably going to be um, stop loss for short. So if we take that over, we might get a nice TTO triangle day out, add to some buying pressure, and maybe push up into the 245 range.
Today,
Huh?
today that 235.75 was a little bit of resistance that I was worried about us getting above. And you seen the last 5 minutes that Joker push past it. So I
Yeah,
want to see that stay above that, in aftermarket, pre-market. And right now I think it's up a little bit. So that's an area that, and then the next PT at, 237.72, sometimes that can be resistance as well. But it should push through that. I'm looking for 240 tomorrow. Now, y'all know the way if you've been trading, it moves kind of funny. And if you're not careful, it can shake you out, literally. Even I'm gonna say the more experienced traders, but sometimes that's when you just gotta, especially if you have time on it, you just gotta not even look at it, seriously. And I know it sounds dumb, or maybe like, oh no, Uncle, I got too much money on the line. Man, trust me, just stop looking at the charts or look at the higher time frames. You'll be fine. Um, because once you start worrying about percentages and shit like that, that's what's gonna get you out of that trade. Just be patient.
yeah. Well, I definitely agree with that as well too, because I know like I was jokingly complaining about it today, but my focus was more so looking at like coin and SMCI, and I just like when I look at stuff like that, I was like, all right, I'm gonna just leave you alone for today. Because technically, I mean, it wasn't red. I mean, y'all saw it today. If anybody was watching, it took a minute and it didn't make a move till like towards the like way later part of the trading day. But it didn't go, bearish, right? So for me, I'm like, all right, you just taking a minute to wake up. That's cool. I'll catch you when you're ready. When you're ready to start moving, it's all good. Essentially, all that happened is it basically it dipped right back into this fair value gap over here, exhausted off of that, and then just kept it pushing. So yes, this 237.72 can be resistance, but what I'm really hoping is that this is where that's the level where the shorts have their stop loss. So I'm hoping that forces them to cover. If that does happen, that adds to the buying pressure, and then hopefully we see that type of a move on Thursday. Um, well, not all the way to 250, but hopefully, maybe we could get to 246. Fingers crossed. It's an $8 move. It's within the ATR, so yeah, hopefully we can get that. But yeah, that's snow. Let's see what else. What else? What else? We talked about Lily. We talked about snow. I'm not really going to touch SMCI because that's more of like a lotto. It is at all. I mean, y'all know it's at all-time highs already. I don't even know what the hell it's at in after hours. I'm sure it's at like probably above 900 because I think it was like $20 away once when it closed. So
913. Go through. You went through Tesla already?
I did. I did. That was the first
Oh,
thing I
all
did
right.
actually.
Yeah.
913. Yeah. See, so there you go. Um, just wake up in the morning and just see if it
You
keeps
had
pushing.
you had told them about the Tesla 200 March 15th, or you had chose another date.
No, no, I told them 200 March 15th. I told them for those that maybe can't afford it, I said you could probably get away with the 210s, 215s, and if you're feeling froggy, 220s
Yeah.
for March 15th. I think the 220s are like 200, so I'm just trying to consider the smaller accounts. So I know because I know some people may not be able to afford like the 500s or whatever. If you can get multiple contracts, I do highly suggest that you get multiple contracts. I am not recommending that you risk the majority of your port. I'm just saying if you can comfortably afford it, then do your thing. All right. I really don't have other stuff. I mean, y'all know I'm in BA. Not really much to say there. Just got to be patient on it. It looks like it wants to take what I'm really thinking is that it takes the week down back into this bearish rejection block. Bullish, excuse me, not bearish. I should have colored that. That's actually bullish because it's expected to go back up. There is a gap. Let me, because I forget who I was talking with it about it today, but he did point that out. So the gap is over here, and the gap ends right here, so at 197, right? So what I'm thinking is we get a drop, take out this low, that low, potentially. Let me change that. Change that to green. Oh, wrong shit. My bad. Change that back to white. Change you to green. And change that to bullish. There we go. Got to do that right. So what I'm thinking is that we pull back to that, either take all of that out, then we have the 198.32. Again, we'll be in the gap. And I think honestly we fill it. I think there's been a couple of times that the gap was trying to get filled before, and we fill it. But I'm playing it safe, right? Um, the bullish rejection block begins at 200, hence the reason why I chose the 200 put. So anything below that is gravy. I'll be able to take profit. And if it has, if it catches support and reverses, then I'll be able to pivot. And yeah, there's a lot of room for that shit to run. Definitely. Hell, I could probably take the 205 calls as the pivot and then keep the same targets and keep going up. But yeah, I think it's only really me and DZ that's in that. But yeah, definitely chart Jets. Jets is, I believe, still looking good. So take your pick. DAL, yep. All I had to do was wait. God damn it. DAL, AAL, UAL, Save, Spirit Airlines, JBLU. Chart any single one of those. But yeah, TTO'd on the daily. I think the weekly is, yeah, weekly's up as well too. So, it's just going through. I think it's just going to keep marching up so far through this pivot machine gun over here. Pivot machine gun to the upside. Am I missing any other ones? I know Sal alerted Amazon 517, but we can talk about that later. Yeah, I mean, oh, AMD. We did talk about that NNOX. Well, that's up like, I mean, we could take a look at it, but I think that shit's up like what, 10% or whatever, 5%? I don't know. But yeah, I mean, what I would say is since it gapped up so much, I would watch it first before I decided to enter something like that. But yeah, I should have just stayed in my fucking 175s. But honestly, I didn't have the patience for AMD. Essentially, all AMD did was it manipulated, swept the lows here, grabbed liquidity, drawn liquidity. Shorts probably entered here. Now, only to trap them for it to come straight back up. Jesus Christ. I should have, man. See, it's a two-part thing, right? When you look at the charts and you see it clearly, the execution ends up being the fuck up. And those are the trades that, or the lack of trades that burn me the most when I don't execute properly the way that I should, considering that I see it. And I didn't. Either way, AMD 180s, probably next week is a good idea. AMD 185 next week, also a good idea. Barring a pullback for OPEX, but yeah, 185s. I know y'all were talking about the 200s. I think somewhere in March, maybe, or April. That's not a bad idea. That's definitely not a bad idea. Basically, to me, it's just, just been consolidating, ready to spring. Next, I mean, potential to go outside tomorrow. I don't know where it is in aftermarket right now, but potential for AMD to go outside tomorrow. And then again, like I said, you got the 185s. So if it triggers tomorrow, I would say 185 for next week would be a good idea. 180 would be your first target. 181 would be your next, and then you got to run up to 184.92 for AMD. So SMCI, again, there's not really much to say. I mean, it's pushing. Like, I don't really have a contract to recommend. If it tomorrow, if it stays bullish, there's a good chance that we see 950 with the way that it's been pushing. But oh, that's the 4 I'm looking at. My bad. I was gonna say that's not what the daily did today. Yeah, daily did 212, which is, what I saw yesterday when it went inside. That's what I thought that we could, get today, which is exactly what happened. So yeah, if we keep it pushing, y'all said we at 913. So if we hold somewhere around there, um, at the start of market open tomorrow, yeah, there's a good chance, barring some sort of news, there's a good chance we see 950 tomorrow. And potentially 1,000 by the end of the week. But yeah, I mean, I don't have any, like, because it's at all-time highs. I don't have any like legitimate targets for you. Right now, market makers want this thing to run. I think it was Way to Chill that said something about they may be looking at a potential split. I mean, and it would make sense. If they get to 1,500, 2,000, it would make total sense. I mean, Tesla did it. Tesla got to 2,000 before it split. It would make total sense that maybe SMCI is kind of trying to do the same thing. Maybe they just haven't announced it yet. But I mean, it says a lot about a company when the CEO comes out confidently. One, raises guidance. Two, you know, meets that those numbers that they forecasted, and then on top of that says that things are so great that they're going to hit 5 billion in revenue, which is I believe a record number for them as well, before the end of the quarter. Like, that's huge. So right now the market makers want this shit to run. Like, I was telling as the guys that I play soccer with, we have a little stock phone group. I was like, yo, you want to see something wild? Take a look at SMCI at the end of the year. Last quarter, y'all. Where was its high at the end of the year? 327.55. But it really ended down here at 284.26. Look at where the fuck it's at right now. Can you imagine? Life changing. Anyway, yeah, SMCI. I would say if you decide to jump in on it, treat it like a lotto, right? Theta's high on it. I'm just giving you the facts. I'm not trying to, tell you not to trade it, right? I get it. It's attractive, but treat it like a lotto, right? Because the theta on it, if it reverses on you, can burn. Keeping it a stack, that contract I was in today went all the way from, it was at like 243%. And, just because I think we pulled back a couple dollars, about $30, it dropped all the way down to 59% real quick. So theta's high on it. So again, treat it like a lotto. All right. QCOM, you asked for QCOM. Uh, oh, I like it, right? The 2-2 reversal. As a matter of fact, hold on. With the way shit is shaping up, what's chips looking like? Because, yeah, I would say, you know what? So that's not there yet. Ah, keep an eye on MU though. I think it may just be sweeping the lows on the weekly for a potential reversal back to the upside. Keep an eye on MU. And there's a gap fill above. So keep an eye on MU, yo. Don't sleep on it. I'm not saying to jump into it immediately, but just keep that shit on your radar. Because I think that's what's happening. The weekly is just sweeping the lows on the weekly. Um, Definitely watch it around here. 7902. Why actually watch it in between these two areas. Sweep the lows at 80.58 and then see if this unicorn will now be support. So yeah, watch it in that area. Matter of fact, I'm gonna send an alert later on for that. Come back to that. All right. But yeah, QCOM, Monique, are you already in it? Is that why you're asking about it? Or are you looking for a contract suggestion? Already in? Okay, cool. Then you're just looking for a kind of confirmation. Yeah. So you're first on the daily, right? It gave you the 2-2 reversal. So we're looking for the TTO above 154.76. That's your first target. And then yeah, second target is 157.98. So I don't know what contract you chose, but probably 155 or even maybe the 160s. Um, that's let me see. What is this one? There we go. Yeah, so those would be your targets on the weekly: 154.76, 157.98, and then 161.30. I'm not sure how much time you gave, but yeah, hidden one wants to look at Nvidia. All right, I'll call the 143. Yeah, good idea. The man was right. Oh, my bad. I didn't see Monique put NNOX. My bad. Sorry. I talked about it, but didn't really like do anything with it. So hold on. Hidden one, hold on. We'll take a look at NVIDIA shortly. Whoever you are. All right. Um, let me see. So what NNO actually, where is it at right now? Hold up. Mhm. Mm, Lily's back in the green and after hours. NNOX. NNOX. Oh, I said 5%. It's really $5. My bad. Yeah, 82% up. Um, I might let that thing just open up tomorrow I mean, I know it got big news that Nvidia is invested in it, right? Is that what it was? Oh no, and that was ARM. Um, what the hell happened? What was the news? Oh, so yeah, okay, so I was right. Okay, yeah. So Nvidia bought shares of yeah. Okay, so I did see that. Yeah, though, like I might let this shit open. To be honest, I don't know, bro. I may not even touch it. To be honest with you, like it took out. I mean, let me see. Let me look at the monthly. Right, 8 6. That's 1 month target taken out. Yeah, so it took out a lot of targets with that move. You might catch a like just from the regular people who invested in that probably didn't even know about the news coming. You might get a lot of profit taking at open tomorrow. Um, but if it continues pushing, man, I still would want to pull back to be honest with you. But yeah, that would be your target, 1472. You said it's at y'all said it's at 12. Oh, almost 12. Okay, so then yeah, your first target would be up here. Let's see, where's the 1238? And then let me see, is it above 11? Let me just look at it. Is it above 1199 to fill that? No, it's at 1150. All right, so if it opens around 1158 tomorrow, it basically opens right below this gap fill right there between 1187. So, but that would be your first target, 1187. Uh, you would need it to close that. You would want it to close that gap, and so maybe look at the 12s. I wouldn't even know what that contract's going to open up like tomorrow. Let me see, February 12 points. Shit, the 12.5s were at $5 a contract. There was zero volume on it. At the nobody had faith in this. Yo, yeah, you're right. That IV, I'm gonna keep it a stack. I wouldn't touch it tomorrow, but if I understand that some people, hey, you're gonna do what you do. But yeah, I wouldn't want to touch it tomorrow at all. I would want, maybe some profit taking to happen and then maybe start looking into maybe something for March, but for right now, I wouldn't want to touch it tomorrow. Yeah. Um, yeah. This reminds me of when I was still green my first year, and I just used to like news like this would make me immediately jump in on the ticker the following day, only to get burned. So yeah, yeah, I would leave that one alone. All right, let's see. If earnings news is already baked in because of earnings runs has moved too much, hasn't moved too much post market. Let me see. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Yeah, you're right. Comparative to NNOX, ARM really didn't move like that, like at all. Just $2. Surprising. Yeah, you're right. You might be right. It might be market might have already priced that in. And Nvidia is only up 34. Yeah, market may have priced that in. Right under 130. Yep, you're right. We'll see what happens, but yeah, like not a lot of movement after that news came out. Nvidia. I just want to look at Nvidia. Yeah, Nvidia is the same rule as SMCI. Um, yeah, I mean, you're looking for it to TTO on the daily above 746, so you could probably look at the 750s if it, triggers the day up. Earnings is not till earnings is next week. So yeah, it may continue pushing up for the earnings run up. Um, so yeah, maybe 750s, uh, $22. So maybe 800s, but yeah, I don't really have an official target for you, you know. But yeah, I mean, there's really not much to say with Nvidia. It's bullish. It's still bullish. And right now, there's nothing about the chart that makes me want to say bearishness. Maybe if earnings aren't all that great or up to expectations, maybe you'll get some bearishness then. But no, as you can see, every pullback. This reminds me of the run up, Sal, that had, I don't know if he's still on the call, but that happened, what when we were talking about before it made its run, but before it made its first run. But every pullback for Nvidia, if you look at the chart, has just been just that. It's a pullback. It doesn't die, and it just keeps moving. So yeah, exactly. So 750s, if if you feeling that, the earnings run up into next week can continue pushing, maybe look at the 800s for next week, but I probably wouldn't want to swing through earnings. I know it's been on a run, but that doesn't guarantee it's going to kill it for earnings. Yeah, so anyway, because a lot of people assumed like Google was going to kill it, and then look at what happened. So, which was pure manipulation, but yeah, look at what happened. So that's all I got. That's all I really got for y'all tonight. We'll look at the market fresh on Sunday once the week is closed, but for right now, everything that you guys are interested in is looking rather bullish. Um, and yeah, a lot of these tickers are at all-time highs. There's really no targets that I can give you, like to look for, but yeah, it's just be careful. That's what I said earlier after market today. Just don't go heavy, especially on the tickers that are all-time highs. I know right now, seeing other people, make 20,000, 37,000, 10,000, whatever. I know that that's very enticing. I know that's very attractive. But that's also where people fuck up and kind of over leverage themselves. And yeah, what may have worked for that person doesn't necessarily guarantee that it's going to work for you. So still risk appropriately. Um, you know, you don't go heavy if you don't need to. All right. And just remember what happened on Tuesday. Let that one be a lesson. Mark, like I'm not even trying to be funny. Chat was real quiet on Tuesday. And I can tell when admins are mostly speaking throughout the day and not y'all, I can tell that tells me automatically that people's portfolios got clapped, right? You don't got to tell me whether it's true or not. It's just I know, and I got the DMs too. I got people like, yeah, I got hit pretty hard on Tuesday. I get it. So just let that one be a lesson to you, right? Don't go heavy, risk appropriately. If SMCI goes to zero tomorrow, I'm good. My port's not killed. I really just took profits from the first coin that I got out of and used that. Not all of it, obviously, but yeah. All right. Anyway, I'll post the recording once it's done converting. Y'all have a great night and love, peace, and chicken grease. We'll see y'all tomorrow. Don't watch the aftermarket stuff. Take y'all asses to bed. All right. Good night.
Shit, we all know that goddamn Zamunda chat about to be like a fucking club.
Right. Right. I mean, we all like. Obviously we hoping for it, right? But I don't want y'all like. What was it? Cash tagged me earlier while I'm at the gym. Look at SMCI now. I'm like, bro, it's not even 9:30 to like we're not even close to tomorrow. Let's just wait. Let's just chill out and wait. But yes, I'm definitely hoping. Um, I'm not gonna lie, secretly hoping SMCI opens up at like north of 9:30 tomorrow. I'm hoping, you know, and then because I
That bitch
know,
open up at if that bitch open up at 990, they gonna have to they gonna have to bring some new
dude,
money in the banks.
if it opens up at 990, I might call out tomorrow. I might just just to watch what it does for the rest of the day. But we'll see. We'll see what's up. Anyway, y'all, to the 23 y'all that huh?
You call a lot of work for real?
What happened?
I say if it's at 990, you'll call out of work for real, bro.
I mean, I might just,
Yeah.
bro. I might just. I don't think I have. Oh shit! No, I have interviews. No, I can't call out.
Fuck
Fucking
them interviews.
I can't. I can't. We really need these Korean agents because, like, God damn it. Tensho said, talk to me now. I mean, hey, like I said, like I'm not like, focused on it. I don't have a lot riding on it, but yeah, I was able to grab two contracts. Actually, no, I did grab a third one. I purposely did not alert that because I don't want y'all to go crazy. But yeah, the two contracts dropped a little bit. I think it like flashed to negative 30%. And I'm like, all right, let me take advantage of that, grab another contract cheaper. And yeah, if it runs out, cool. Um, yeah, I'll be looking for 300% off of it, just like I did today. You know, I'm good either way. Yeah, I've been doing that since 1986, bro. So that like the whole drop your nuts concept. I mean, Sal knows there've been swings that I've been down like 50, 60%, and I didn't flinch. They're really like I'm not trying to say it's okay, but there's something about like blowing my account that I don't know. I just don't fear it anymore because I like the truth is I bounced back from it. So there's really no amount of loss that I feel I can't come back from. So if I take an L, I just take it as a lesson. I don't really freak out about them. Like honestly. Oh, calling off. Yeah. Well, I do have PTO, bro. That PTO has been stacking up. I just been saving it because maybe I want to take my daughter to what it's called, Legoland. So, I'm trying to save up for that. So anyway, good night, y'all. See y'all tomorrow. Take y'all asses to bed. Oh, what was it? Some of y'all Valentine's ladies go work on them babies, them Valentine's babies. Deuces.